Hello friends, recently I came across a video which was shared on the Instagram in which an allopathic doctor had made some very bad remarks and critics about the homeopathic system and how it basically works. And towards the end of that video, there was also an appeal made by him to the common people to not to go towards a homeopath and save their money. Now, friends, see, this kind of critics and allegations are not new to homeopathy. We have been facing these critics and allegations ever since homeopathy was discovered. I have nothing to say to those people, friends who come up every now and then with this kind of videos. Basically, that in itself shows how their insecurity is growing, as on the other hand, the popularity of homeopathy is multiplying day by day. And but I thought of making this video in order to ensure that the youngsters, the freshers, those who are there in their colleges right now, they don't get motivated by listening to this kind of videos. So it is important for us to analyze what are the basically the facts behind such videos being shared, and what is the truth behind it. So first of all, let me show you that video which I saw on Telegram, and then we'll come back to it.
So just in case the homeopathy fans decide to start burning my images, let me start with the positives. The thing I like about homeopathy is that the doctors are caring, considerate and concerned during consultations. This makes patients feel cared for. So 100% we need to work on this, agreed. But if we talk about the actual homeopathic medicines, that's a different ballgame. These medicines are prepared by a method called potentization. In this method, one part of the ingredient is diluted with 9 parts of water. One part of this solution is then diluted with 9 more parts water. This is done again and again and again till the dilution somewhere 1 in a billion. Most of the time, not a single atom of the original active ingredient remains in the solution. The joke here is that the more the dilution, the higher they claim is the potency or strength of the medicine. I have nothing against homeopathy, but everyone should know that these medicines are nothing but a placebo. All the stories you hear of it working are either natural progression of the disease that would have been cured anyway, or it is the placebo effect. Save your money, share this with your friends, and tell them to save their money.
Now, if you have listened to these video friends, some very interesting statements has been made and which needs to be basically analyzed. Now, see friends, let me first of all tell you that I am not creating this video to answer to X person or Y person. There are a number of people you search in Google, you search in YouTube, you search in other social media platforms. These kind of people are many, and we cannot blame them because they are reacting according to their own understanding level, and ignorance is not a crime, isn't it? So as long as these people, come up with this kind of videos trying to pull our legs or criticize homeopathy, we don't need to basically react to them, friends, because we need to focus on what we are supposed to do, and we need to focus on giving the results that we are supposed to consistently give to our patients, and let the patients decide for themselves what is wrong and what is right for them. They are not the authority who will come across and tell to the whole world that, oh, we are the only people who are doing the right thing, so come to us. Don't go to them. They are making, basically cheating you, and they are taking away all your money. So basically, let the people, leave it to the people to decide where they are getting benefited from. Let them decide to go there. So as far as homeopathy is concerned, friends, we don't need to answer to such people, because our masters were so clever that they were already knowing that this kind of people are bound to come up, will come up with this kind of allegations. And that is exactly the reason why the answers that we are supposed to give to such people are already given in our literature. I'll show you that, friends. This is taken from Ken's lectures on homeopathic philosophy by J.T. Kent. We already this here. Now, this is what it says, friends. Homeopathy will not be universally adopted for many centuries, and it's a fact. It has still not been universally adopted. The reason is what? The reason here it is given. There are many people in the world, just like one example you saw in the video. There are many people in the world who cannot believe a great truth, however much evidence is presented in its favor. Whatever evidence we present, they have decided that no, I'm not going to believe, so they will not believe. So these people were must have been there during that time also. That is exactly the reason why this kind of lines has been mentioned in our literature. So homeopathy will not be universally adopted for many centuries. There are many people in the world who cannot believe a great truth, however much evidence is presented in its favor. We all are encumbered with tradition. Traditionally, what others are following, okay, I will also follow that. Their thinking ability is limited and is only limited to the knowledge that is mounted onto their brain from the so-called textbooks which contains the hypotheses and theories. Unbelief in new things is our strongest tendency. The tendency to ridicule what we do not understand is born in us. The human tendency that many people have. That what we don't understand and we don't want to understand. Let's criticize. This is exactly the reason this kind of critics and allegations are coming up. And so all those people who are into their homeopathic fraternity, they don't need to panic by seeing such videos, and their insecurity is definitely going to multiply in future as the popularity parallelly of homeopathy will grow. And one more reason is that friends, those people who are not practicing homeopathy in accordance with the instructions that has been laid down in organon philosophy are also to be blamed for giving this kind of people an opportunity to criticize us and laugh at us. The people who prescribe multiple remedies, patents, tonics, they list remedies for various clinical conditions, and they just memorize a fragmented knowledge of pyramid content to prescribe on the basis of that. These are those people who don't get consistent results in their clinic. And when they don't get consistent results in their clinic, basically these kind of people from other school who don't even have the basic knowledge of what homeopathy is and what are its principles, they get a chance to criticize us and laugh at us. So it is basically not their fault, friends. Let their ignorance account for their action. And when it comes to thinking logically, the common sense of this kind of people goes for a walk. So we cannot blame them. It is important for them also to survive because the way homeopathy is getting popularized, definitely a day will come when people will come to us first for serving their healthcare needs before going to these people who are sitting there and claiming that they are the only scientific people doing scientific practice in the world. They are not bothered about to account for the various failures that they account, and those failures getting treated completely by the homeopathic medicines. They are very happy to sideline it by saying that these are just placebo effects. My dear friend, I think you should all be aware that those cases which get cured under homeopathic medicines, before coming to a homeopath, the patient may have most of the times been taking allopathic medicines for years together without any relief or temporary relief. And when they come to the correct, proper homeopath, the homeopath is able to uproot the disease, cure it completely from the root. So, according to them, as you have seen in the video, it says that this kind of cures is a natural progression, which could have anyway ended in cure automatically. Just imagine, friends, there can be, this is basically the biggest joke because when the patient is on allopathic treatment for years together, that natural progression doesn't happen. And when he comes to a homeopath and a homeopath cures that disease, it becomes a natural progression. We should all give a great applause to the this kind of logic that these people come up and share in the social media platform shamelessly. Anyhow, that is not our concern, friends. This kind of worms will always be there to criticize us as we grow. So one appeal I have to do to all the homeopath across the world is that, friends, it's high time that we start sticking with the instructions given in the laid down in the organon and philosophy and start practicing in accordance with it. When you adopt these baseless methodologies, shortcuts, and tips that suits your own ease, in turn, you're basically giving a chance to this kind of people to laugh and criticize us. And one more important thing that was mentioned in this video towards the end is that, friends, he's appealing to the people to save their money. My dear friend, he may not be knowing that. At least I would request him to do some Google research. And all the now today in Google, all the data are available. And my friend doesn't know, they maybe not may not be knowing that, or maybe knowing but still ignoring that, or trying to mislead knowingly the common people, by saying that don't go to a homeopath and save your money. All those chronic patients, most of the time they come to us after they have exhausted all their financial resources by taking allopathic medicines for years together. And when they end up without no financial resources left with them, They look for an alternative option, and then most of the time they come to us, and then we treat them and get their disease completely cured. So where exactly the people are wasting money and how the people could have saved their money is very evident from these facts itself. So basically, friends, criticism can be of two types. One is you can criticize just for the sake of criticizing, with no knowledge on the subject on which you are criticizing. Second is you have come across a new thing, you understood it, you have read it, you have understood it, you have tried to apply it practically, and then you don't find any truth in it, then you can come up with a criticism. It's just like what writing a movie review. Movie review can be written only after watching that movie. Without watching a movie, you cannot write a review on that movie. So similarly, if you want to criticize homeopathy, first of all, at least you should read the basic literature of organon and philosophy, and then whatever facts are mentioned in those, you need to apply it accordingly in your clinical practice. And then, if it is not coming true, then you have the right to come and criticize. That will be called as a healthy criticism. And these people are not capable of coming up with any healthy criticism or healthy argument. Friends. They are blindly throwing stones on us just because our popularity is growing. This is basically a reaction that is coming out of their own insecurity, the monopoly that they have been having as far as medical practice is concerned. What will happen to that monopoly if homeopathy progresses? What will happen to their scientific theories if homeopathy established itself as a scientific system? This insecurity is growing in them, and that is exactly the reason why, because of which this kind of videos are coming day by day. If you go into YouTube, you will find many such videos. So these people are basically safeguarding their own interests, so we cannot blame them. We should not bother to reply to such people as the person is saying that burn my images. We don't need to do those things, friends. Let their insecurity grow, and we will grow with them simultaneously as a system, as a unit, to show to the world what homeopathy is and where the homeopath deserves to stand. But for that, we also have to ensure that we don't run after this base-led shortcut, which the so-called experienced doctors are serving under the name of clinical experience in various WhatsApp groups, Telegram groups, Facebook groups. So homeopathy is not so easy. Learn to stick to the basics of organon and philosophy, then you will be able to achieve consistent results in your clinical practice. And when that consistency is achieved, who is going to believe them if they are saying that it's a placebo effect? What is important for the patient? It's a really very pathetic joke, friends, when these people are yelling to the people saying that, oh, don't go to them, they may be able to cure you completely, they may be able to remove your disease completely, but their medicines doesn't have any active ingredient in it, it is just a placebo or water. Those patients who have been taken for n number of years the allopathic treatment and exhausted all their financial resources, still not got cured with it, and when they come to us, we cure them. They are saying that it is a placebo effect. So they are basically admitting that their medicines are not even worth the placebos. What the placebos could do at no cost or at a cheaper cost, even their expensive medicines could not achieve. These are basically, you cannot make common people fool. They are quite intelligent enough and they know better what is good for them and what is bad for them. These people, oh, when such appeals are made to save the money of common public by not coming to a homeopath, basically an ethical call, so-called ethical call that is coming from their conscience. So concerned about the people that it's very heartbreaking for them to see that patients are going towards homeopathy and wasting their money. Where this thought goes when this kind of this so-called allopaths refer unnecessary tests, refer unnecessary surgeries, and refer unnecessary laboratory investigation just to earn money. What happens in the insurance sector is well-known fact. What these people do as an allopath, where does that conscience go? I think these people should focus on basically filling up the gap that they have in their own system rather than trying to criticize us, and leave it for the people to decide what is good for them and what is bad for them. So friends, my appeal is, as a homeopathic physician, I have practiced since 18 years, and in these 18 years I have seen those miracles what homeopathy can do, and I can definitely argue based on facts. If they are at all willing to come up for a healthy argument based on facts, not on assumptions or not on stories which are heard from here and there. If basically on healthy arguments, if they are willing up to argue on facts, it is an open challenge for them, invitation for them from my end to come up and have an argument on facts, and let the people decide. Let's show them let's show to the people. Let's have a discussion in front of the common people and let them decide what is right for them, what is wrong for them. So friends, if you are a homeopath who has stepped into a homeopathic practice, no need to respond to this kind of videos, no need to react to this kind of videos. Focus on your teaching that is being given in your colleges. Focus on the basic of learning the basics of organon and literature. And I also humbly request all those people who are calling themselves as homeopaths to please do not resort to baseless shortcuts and tips made for your ease by so-called experienced doctors under the name of clinical experience. Homeopathy is definitely a complete science and it has got the potential to give consistent results provided you learn to stick to the basics of organon and philosophy. This kind of listing of remedies, shortcuts, one line, two line prescription. These are the people who are the real culprits within our system, and they are giving the opportunity for this kind of people to come up with this kind of videos. So basically, we have to rectify ourselves, friends. Dare to be wise, dare to think what is right and what is wrong. Boycott these shortcut methodologies and the people who serve the baseless methodologies. Focus on learning the things in the practical way and focus on sticking with the basic knowledge of organon and literature. And then let's grow together and show to the world what homeopathy is and where homeopathy deserves to stand. I hope it is clear, friends, and thank you. Thanks a lot for patient listening.